Hello everyone, welcome to earlier for me, earlier kind of recording. Normally I record Friday or Saturday, and today it's Wednesday, he says, having to check because he'd already forgotten. So, here's our poor volunteer, the leader of our forlorn hope, who may actually end up becoming that fellow, because the leader of your hope, even if he's just a private, even if he's a sergeant, the sergeant would often get, a field commission. So this is going to be like his story, we're going to say. One of the names we've had as a suggestion is Ian Wellard. Don't mind Wellard. Don't think Ian really fits an officer. I'm not entirely sure how common it was in this period, so it seems a bit off, especially for a British Army that was incredibly snobby about practically everything. So, but here he is. He's not horribly painted. He's probably, I mean, you'll notice that there's 4 there that were left. They need to be touched up. This is like the first one I got to that I actually kind of liked. And so I'm a bit wary of painting him. But we're going to give him a go. There's other ones I like. I do like the guys, they've got their gloves now. But yeah, going to go into the garage and give this guy a bit of a paint with the quick shade, and we'll see what he looks like tomorrow. I think it says leave for 24 hours. I'm just going to check that. I can't actually read it through here. So, it says, so it says shake off. Oh right, the miniature is dry after 12 to 24 hours and completely hardened after 24 to 48 hours. So I'm going to do him now, and then this time tomorrow we'll have a look at him, see what he's like. Good luck, brave soldier. Alright, so here we are in the garage. Now this is the thing I used to spray all the models on. You can tell I prime in black. You already know that because you've seen them just primed. So here are 3 models. I did our fellow here with a quick load of paint. I then did Hanoverian because I noticed I hadn't actually stirred the paint. So I thought I'd give it a stir, the quick shade, so I thought I'd give it a stir and then do it with this guy. Now, it did seem to stir quite well, like the brown came all the way through the medium. I'm worried that I might have just painted him with the medium, but they're just shiny. Like, I'm not entirely sure what the difference is. Oh, obviously he's got a different hat. Don't say that. But, I mean, just other than the fact that he's now shiny, I'm not entirely sure what effect has actually been achieved. I'll give him a quick spin. Okay, I can't go that far, my wrist doesn't work, so we'll go back. And then we'll keep going. So, he's shiny. Hooray! I'm not entirely sure what effect this quick shade is actually meant to do. I've done the face. The face has got a bit more distinction, admittedly. But it's not really come across such a distinction on this guy. So I've got no idea, because I don't want to say it's the kind of brown shade I did, because I did some leather brown and really watered it down, put it in the face, because it's not come through on this fellow. So I think I don't understand what this quick shade is at all and what it's for. If you can look at these models and you immediately go, you've made a mistake, I see what you've done, please post, because I'm not entirely sure what this has done. I mean, maybe they're still drying. I mean, I only did it 24 hours ago. So maybe as it dries, it has an effect, and it still hasn't properly dried, and I've got to wait a bit longer. I don't know. I'm going to leave these guys now and leave them to dry anymore, and maybe have another look tomorrow. But I don't think there's going to be a huge effect. I mean, they do give you a little bottle of anti-shine varnish, probably because they know that this is shiny. So you need your paints, you need a the quick shade, and you need anti-shine varnish. Seems a bit of a waste when the varnish, when all it seems to do is make them shiny. Let's put some gunk on to make them shiny, and then put some more stuff on to make them not shiny. I assume I'm doing it wrong, because no one says this stuff is terrible, so I've got to be doing it wrong. But I don't know why, because I stirred it really well for this guy, and there's less of an impact. It's done less for him, because at least it's kind of defined his face a bit. Defined his face. No face. I'm confused. I'm really confused. Like, what's the difference between these two? Okay, actually, he does look slightly better. I'm just not entirely sure if it's worth it. I'll have another look. I'll come back when these are more slightly drier, because they're still a bit kind of tacky. So I'll leave those a little bit longer. I was kind of hoping, if this would work out, that I'd be able to kind of paint them and like I just need to do some touch-ups on the other guys, and then I could just put the quick shade on. But I'm not sure if I will. I'll wait and see what happens tomorrow. Which means I'm not going to be doing a battle report, because these guys are not. Because if these guys are taking 2 days to dry, then, and I put the quick shade on tomorrow after I've seen what these guys are like, that's going to be going into next week's video. Oh well, looks like no battle report this week. Maybe next week. Oh well. Okay, like welcome back. I brought the guys in that I used the quick shade on, but I've also been doing bits of painting. You'll notice, for example, this officer is very colourful. I really like him. Slightly better than the Hanoverian gentleman, who is a bit bland, but I think that's just the way the models are. I'm not in any way saying that people from Hanover are bland. I'm just saying that model-wise, this one's more exciting than this one. Right, moving on, before I accidentally offend anyone else. So yes, I've touched people up. These guys have got their red on, these officers. He's got, I've painted on a little bit of the kind of mane of the horse there. So that's more of a kind of, so used the buff that was used for these straps of these people. You can see some of these guys have got the straps painted on from their backpacks. So I used the same colour for that. So he's kind of he's Shadowfax. That's basically my plan. And I've done the red. These guys, the cannon is done. The 6-pounder is painted. These guys have been touched up, so that's quite nice. They've got their red facings because they're in the artillery. He needs a bit of white on his for his cross belt because he's an officer. And they need their trousers painted, as do the Jaegers, who haven't actually been touched this week. I've been mainly working on these guys. So as I mentioned, the models I put the quick shade on are in this display. And, I mean, at this distance, I'm not entirely sure I can tell which one's which. Looking through the camera screen, so for what you see, so let's just pan across the Hanoverians. Can you tell which one it was? Which one I used the quick shade on? Because this is a bit close even from what you were doing. And then if we look at the British, and we scroll across, so I'm not entirely sure what the point of the quick shade is in terms of these guys. I mean, if I went really close up, and lined them up and went right up to them as if they were individual models, I think I could see that working. But the thing is, I'm basing 4 on a... So if I get these 4, this is what they're going to look like on their base once I'll just... Oops. So once I think they're done and they're painted and I think they're finished and I think they're roughly at that point anyway, that's basically what their base is going to look like. I mean, he might be slightly further over, like that. That's what they're going to look like. So I'm not sure the quick shade's actually going to help with what we've done. So I think I'm actually just going to start basing them up and not bother with the quick shade on these other guys. Because I mean, I'll be honest, it's this guy. This guy's the guy with the quick shade on. He's just a bit shiny. That's all that seems to have happened. I left it another day, and came back to... I left it another day, so, I mean, I think it's this guy. I mean, I can pick him out, because I know what I'm looking for, the shiny one. So I left him for another day. I did him a little bit later, so he's less than a day, but it just looks like they're shiny. Like, they're just shiny, they're not really much else. If I pull another Hanoverian, other than the shininess, I'm not really sure. So let's grab another Briton as well, or potentially Irish, I suppose. And I'm not entirely sure. I mean, the face has a bit more distinction, maybe. And I'm actually looking really close with the camera. Zoom in a bit more. There's a bit more distinction on the face. But I'm not entirely sure the whole process of putting them out, grabbing them out, painting them, leaving them for a day or two is kind of worth it. I don't think so. So, give me your thoughts on the quick shade. You also tell me if I've done it wrong. If it looks like I've done it wrong, please tell me. I'll give it another go. But if you're looking at that and going, yeah, that looks roughly right. I think for the way that black powder works, where you just have the bases and they're not individually based, I'm not sure it's going to be worth it. And if I don't have to do it, it means I don't have to leave it for 2 days. I was hoping to be able to just do these guys, but I'm going to wait and see what you say about the quick shade. These guys are all painted now, so if you come back saying, yes, quick shade works really well and you need to do da-da-da-da-da with it, then I might just give them another quick shade and then go, and then leave them, and then base them. Or put them on the bases. I'm not doing anything with the bases. Just going to put them on. And then we'll have our first battle report of the 8th King's Own versus the, I think, 7th Hanoverian I've painted them as. I can't see my Osprey book, so I can't look it up. And then after that, I'll start working on these guys. I think these guys are very close to being finished. I think it's basically the flesh and the trousers to do, and then the officer just needs his crossbelt, and then I've got British officer, British cannon, British unit. The Jaegers, I think they need brown as well, and our officer's going to probably require a bit more work. Although actually, once he's got his trousers done, so I'm going to do the grey. I'm about to do the grey to touch things up. And then I'll do the trousers. So I'll do that. And these guys will look very much closer to completion, because there'll only be a few little bits to do. But the Jaegers will require a bit more. And then I think what I'll do is I'll do kind of one British and the Hanoverian, and then one British and I'll have these be the Royal Americans, I think, because they were more Germanic. So then you've got like a Germanic kind of army for taking on a British army in practice before the French show up. But I think what I'll do with the French, instead of doing what I did with this, which is build everything, slowly work through painting it, is I think I will do a line and do French line versus British lines, like a meeting engagement, and then slowly develop. So I'll give them an officer and a second unit, and then some cavalry might start showing up. But I think I'll do like a unit at a time for the French, just so that we can slightly get into battle reports slightly faster. Yes, so any comments on the quick shade will be good. But if everyone's kind of like, yeah, that's roughly what it's meant to do, or what it looks like, or things along those of that kind, I think I might just base them, and then we'll have a battle report next week. Actually, even if I quick shade at the beginning of the week, we might still be able to fit a battle report in by the end. So, I'll wait and see what you guys say. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching.